big week for us.
Oh, man. How awesome has the Patreon been? We just launched it last week, and people are supporting the show. That's awesome.
At the time of this recording, 280 people have donated to keep the show going.
And we are extremely grateful. Thank you.
If you don't know how Patreon works, it is a subscription service. You give as much or as little as you want every month. We continue to make the show anyway, no matter what.
The only way that we're funding this endeavor, so we appreciate it.
And if you give a little bit more, we give you some extra stuff. We have a beautiful digital art print by Scott Johnson.
Oh, man,
it's just
so
amazing.
rad, yeah.
We've got some wallpapers you can download. You give a certain amount, you get the episodes a day early, which is rad. So give as much or as little as you feel. We have a guy who's giving 50 cents a month. We have a guy who's giving 25 cents a month, which I think is awesome because I get that thinking. I don't pay for podcasts. Podcasts are free.
Right.
Podcasts are a thing that happens. I reach up into the internet and out comes a podcast. So by giving 50 cents, this guy is giving infinity more than he's ever paid for a podcast.
Right.
I'm down.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
So go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns if you want to know more about that.
But I think that I finally understand why you asked for blood in our Patreon video.
Yes, we should get to that. This is, by the way, We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
The blood of the young is needed for power, and I think we've always known that.
It's certainly been hinted at in all of our horror lore.
Devour the heart of your enemies.
Yeah.
That works.
Drink their blood.
Yeah. Bathe in it if you can.
Oh, sure. If you got enough of it.
So Cornell University is about to run a study in October where they are giving the elderly people with Alzheimer's disease the blood of young people to reverse their condition.
This is crazy.
This
because
is
they
awesome.
think it's going to work.
They think it's going to work. And the reason they think it's going to work is because multiple studies have been done on mice. You hook an old mouse and a young mouse together by hooking up their circulatory systems. It's called heterochronic parabiosis.
All right.
So basically, it's two mice, one heart joined together in beautiful,
I need
beautiful
to write a
science.
song about that.
I think Phil Collins did that one.
Two mice, one heart.
Just one heart. And what happens is, after being connected for a few days, the elderly mice have healthier livers. Their muscle tissue regenerates faster after injury. Their skin looks younger and better. They physically seem younger.
Okay, a few questions.
Sure.
First of all,
This is good for everyone.
is it? Here's my question.
Heading off all of your questions.
Why have we not tried this before?
Well, we are now.
Because every piece of fiction for hundreds of years has hinted that this might be a thing. Maybe we should actually try it.
Well, because it seems a little horror show, doesn't it?
It's extraordinarily horror show. It's vampires walking the earth today. We created them with science.
Sure, there's something mildly unsettling about culling the blood and energy of the youth to increase the strength of the elderly that are already in power. Sure, that sounds a little creepy when you say it that way, Jeff.
Every Disney stepmother has been doing this in animated form for decades.
Yeah, it's called a stepmotherplasty.
Timmy, come here. Grandpa has something he wants to ask you.
Okay, Grandpa, by the way, I drew a picture. This is you and me at the cabin fishing.
That is a beautiful picture, Timmy. I'm so pleased. I'm going to put that up in the refrigerator. You know what else I'd like to have in the refrigerator?
What's that, Grandpa?
I'd like to have 2 or 3 liters of your life's blood.
What?
You know how when you fall down and you skin your knee and you got a little blood?
It's an owie.
It is an owie. Well, Grandpa's going to reach right into your veins and extract a whole lot of that wonderful, delicious, life-giving blood. And Grandpa's going to be able to play softball and basketball with you and run around. Basketball! Yeah, let's do it. Now lay down on this table and we're going to you're not going to be able to play because you'll be very weak. Very, very weak after this experience.
Is it an owie?
It's going to be quite an owie. And it'll be a 2 to 3 month long recovery period.
But Grandpa's going to join one of those adult kickball leagues that's actually 80% about casual sex. So yeah, I should mention, I guess in passing, we could mention that the younger mouse does start to prematurely age quite quickly.
It's merely a side effect.
It's a little thing that I feel like I should mention. Here's the thing about the youths and their skateboards and their non-fully formed prefrontal cortexes that are incapable of empathy anyway. They're not even people. Before the age of 26, they're not even people, and I think we know that.
Right. All they are is harvest farms for delicious...
I am just barely a person. I've barely been a person. By aging them faster.
Oh, we're helping them.
We help them to gain the empathy that they need.
What does every kid want? To grow up, to be older.
If there's one thing we've learned from the story of Peter Pan... There's nothing.
I haven't read it, but yes, okay, I think you're right.
Peter Pan is a story of a bunch of magical kids.
Yes.
Who go on an adventure and at the end say, "Fuck it, let's go back to London
let's hang
out with our banker dad."
Because we can drink.
Yeah.
We can vote. Voting is awesome. Kids love voting.
God, the worst thing about voting, other than the fact that we're all puppets of a meaningless system, is that crowd of teens outside of the voting center.
Oh man, it's
Hey man, can you just get a ballot for me?
Listen.
No, dude, I'm good. I'm 18.
You don't look 18.
I just forgot my ID and I really want to vote for Romney. Can you just go in and just get a ballot for me? Come on, man. I got to go to my job at the refinery mill office factory plant. Just like you, dog. I'm just like you.
Listen, Skeeter, you don't work at the refinery mill plant. You skateboarded here. I can see your three buddies standing behind the tree over there.
We're going green.
You want me to vote? You want me to
carpool? Can you just go in? Get 4 ballots?
Yeah.
And a Schlitz.
I could get arrested for this.
Just 4 ballots and a Schlitz or a night train or whatever they got.
Okay. You want some terrible beer and you want to vote.
More than anything in the world.
I get this blood that you might want to put in your body.
Sweet, we get to be old.
You know what this is going to be?
What is this going to be?
Instead of, for the midlife crisis, these middle-aged men aren't going to buy Ferraris anymore. They're going to have kids just so they can harvest their delicious blood and stay young forever.
Isn't that why people have kids already?
In a way, you might not be wrong. In a way.
You just want somebody to take care of you while you're old, and so you have a child.
You just remove the metaphor now.
Yeah, look, here's the deal, man. Nobody ever needs to take care of you if you just stay young.
I don't need to live vicariously through the kid if I can literally extract
through the kid.
Exactly.
No, but here's the deal. There is another study that they ran.
I think these guys need to be stopped, but go ahead.
No. This is a different study.
All right.
This is at Harvard. Full of smarties, right?
That sounds very,
full of smarties.
Very smart, yes.
So basically, they surgically joined the circulatory systems of pairs of mice. They got a healthy 2-month-old animal and then a 23-month-old mouse that had cardiac hypertrophy. So it had this, it had an enlarged heart, which happens when you get old. They let the mouse blood flow. The blood must flow, Jeff.
They chanted.
Yes.
They walked in their robes. They joined the mice together.
Klaatu. Rata. In 4 weeks, the older mouse's heart had reverted to almost the same size of the younger mouse's heart, and the hearts of the younger mice were unaffected.
Oh, so we didn't
actually create a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Oh, good. This is very encouraging.
Ask your parents what Tales from the Crypt episodes are.
So all the positive, none of the negative.
Parents, if your kids don't know what Tales from the Crypt are, I have a summer job for them. They can come to my house and lay on a gurney. As we learn more and more about how to efficiently use this process, we are harming the youth involved in the process less and less, which is great.
That's good.
Would we like to get this down to 0? Sure, in an ideal world. But you know what, man? You can't let idealism get in the way of progress all the time.
I agree.
So what's going to happen is in October at Cornell, they're going to inject these patients...
Human patients?
Human patients with the blood of...
Younger patients?
Younger people.
So they're going to take Alzheimer's sufferers, and they're going to inject them with youthful blood. And if this works, I feel like somebody's going to be like, it was just blood? All we needed was blood?
All we needed is the blood of the youth?
That's all it was? We've been wasting all this time on Alzheimer's treatments, and it was just blood?
I'll tell you what, people are really, really against human cloning right now. You know? People are really against it right now, but the second you say, if you just let us clone humans, you never have to die.
Yeah, clone them up.
All of a sudden, everybody is going to be like, it doesn't seem like a complete perversion of nature.
Right.
I mean, like, it's like a little, but
I won't name him. And then I won't get attached.
You don't have to.
And we'll just use him as a little organ harvester.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fine. We'll call him Orgy. That's what we'll call him.
I love Orgy. Orgy is endearing. We can't call him Orgy.
Orgy and Harvester. The deal is they basically believe the reason that this all works is because all parts of the body seem to age at exactly the same rate. Your hand does not get older than your liver,
That'd
right?
be crazy if it did, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you got, I got a case of old hand.
I got the old hand.
Jesus, look at that. Look at the age on those hands.
Timmy, get my medicine. I got a case of the old hand. That must mean it's going to rain. So because your body ages equally, every part of your body, they believe that the blood must have something to do with the coordination of aging. They found a protein called GDF11, which is present in much higher quantities in the blood of younger mice than older mice. So the idea is you could potentially turn this from some like Victorian Gothic horror show of stealing blood from the young. You could potentially create GDF11 and increase synthetically.
Okay.
And then add that.
Unfortunately, to create synthetic GDF11, we have to mash up babies.
Right now, the conversion process, it takes 2 pints of regular GDF11 to make 1 pint of synthetic GDF11. We're going to get that ratio up. That's not true.
It's a lossy process.
It's lossy conversion. That's what it is. But this is just one of 2 big immortality stories. Sergio Torres sent us another one that came out this week about the immortal jellyfish.
Right.
This is a literal immortal animal.
This is an animal that heals itself over time. Is that correct? And actually gets younger?
If you hurt this specific kind of jellyfish,
Why would you want to hurt jellyfish?
To watch it get young.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of cool, I guess. No, so this jellyfish ages, and after it ages a certain amount, if it gets hurt too badly or gets towards the point of death, it just ages in reverse.
Sweet.
And then it becomes a baby jellyfish again. It's not like it's immortal in the sense of it cannot be killed. It's kind of the Highlander of jellyfish.
Which is really difficult because where's its head? How do you even cut that thing off?
Doesn't really have one.
Doesn't have one, can't cut it off. Bad news for Highlander jellyfish. Also, 8 arms means 8 swords.
You're thinking of an octopus and not a jellyfish.
Oh, that's true. I went to octopus, didn't I?
You did go to octopus.
Stinger?
They got some things that'll sting you. This is a jellyfish that is called the Turritopsis. God damn you, Latin. Turritopsis dornii. Dornii. And it actually, like, it's so funny reading this article. This Japanese scientist who has been studying them for years is like cheerfully showing this reporter how it works. He's like, watch what happens. Aren't they adorable? And it's like 3 of them in a little petri dish because they're very tiny. An adult is about the size of a human pinky finger or pinky nail. Sorry. And he's like, watch what happens.
Pinky nail?
Yeah.
That's really tiny.
Tiny and adorable. And he goes, watch what happens. And he just stabs it 50 times with a needle.
Aww.
And the reporter just watches it wiggle a little bit and die and just lay there. And he goes, oh, now rejuvenate. Come on back. Like, that's how the article describes it, where he's like, come on back, buddy. Like, it describes him as giggling. And the thing actually rejuvenates and comes back to life. And
okay, that is also the beginning of every 1950s science fiction horror movie as well, where, of course, there's going to be a giant version of that then turns on the scientist and grows bigger and then walks down the main street of New York City devouring people and buildings.
Or the lizard from Spider-Man, something like that. We're going to inject this into ourselves. And
oh, yeah, that's totally what that scientist is. He's giggling because he's like, I'll never die.
Well, that's his whole thing. He's like, I want to be someone who lives forever.
Speaking of the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, right? The reason why this works is because the jellyfish goes through transdifferentiation, which transdifferentiation is it can turn any kind of cell into any other kind of cell, kind of like human stem cells.
Right.
But every cell in this jellyfish practically works like a stem cell.
Wow.
Oh, I need a young version of this. Pop. Oh, I need this sort of thing. Pop.
That's rad.
I'm going to take this cell from my tentacle or whatever, and I'm going to turn it into this cell that I need from here. So they've been studying this for years, and they're like, well, what can we do? How can we jellyfish as a
I think
people?
we should. This seems like a massive evolutionary advantage. If this is possible, why don't more creatures have it?
Complexity.
That because it's only fingernail size, it's a relatively simplistic creature. It doesn't have to...
Not just that it's fingernail size, but that its actual structure, like, doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have a head, really. It doesn't have a complex brain system like we have.
So even though the cells can be any type, there's not very many types it needs to worry about.
Exactly. And that's kind of like when you talk about lizards as well. the reason why lizards can regenerate body parts and stuff like that is because they swapped off a lot of the complex stuff that makes us human. We're infinitely more adaptable and more complex, and our trade-off for that is we can't grow an arm back.
Well, we manipulate our external environment rather than our internal environment.
Mm-hmm. It's basically feng shui is the reason we can't regenerate.
This is the internal feng shui of animals.
Yeah. It wants to put a heart in the northwest corner. And then a liver in the southeast, so it has a running source of water.
Better flow. And it's better flow through the body.
You just walk inside the lizard and you feel more comfortable inside a lizard like that. Would you, if you could be immortal, would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah, 100 times yes.
Yes. I mean, I don't believe in an afterlife. I just feel like, I would miss out on all the awesome that I don't get to see.
The most annoying fucking thing about life, and listen, life is 87% annoyances. The most annoying thing about life, man, there's so much cool that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a kid that has to go to bed right as the adults all show up for the party.
It's absolutely the case, man. All the cool stuff is right around the corner. And then when you get around the corner, there's always another corner to get around.
Yeah.
Do you believe in any form of poetry of life in the sense that in order for us to appreciate what we have to have the potential to not have?
No, absolutely
In order to
not.
enjoy life, there has to be death?
No, not at that level. Like, I do agree that striving for things is part of what makes us human, and a certain amount of we can never have this makes us want things, makes life a little bit more poetic. I don't believe the same thing about death, because so much of our thought process, of our brain, of our physics, so much of the way we operate in our consciousness is actually devoted to not ever letting us think for a long time about death.
Right.
Our entire psyche is set up not to let you dwell on death all the time. So you can't possibly tell me that the fear of death is what's making me make every decision in my life. I just don't believe that.
Your whole evolution has built you to the moment of denying that even is a potential.
I'm denying it so hard. Like, that makes it real sad when you think about death for the 5 minutes in the shower that you forget to play music.
Right, to block out those thoughts.
Yeah, like, oh, geez, this is the only 5 minutes of quiet I get in my day. And I forgot to bring my iPhone in, so I can't put music on the jam box, and now I'm fucked. Because I'm going to remember that I'm going to die someday.
Which is why, as a culture, we have so much fiction devoted to chasing immortality.
Yeah.
Which then leads me to think, why did we not think of using blood before?
Why did we not think of the blood?
Because the
blood was right there.
We've been fictionalizing that exact thing for so long.
God, the blood was right in front of us the whole time. You know what I do think? I think that as we age, as we get older, we'll probably think more and more about death. That will probably become more and more of our regular routine.
Yeah.
And at that point, kind of makes life bittersweet then. But I'm not thinking about death right now. I'm thinking about going out for beers later, and I'm thinking about watching The Leftovers this weekend, and I'm thinking about, I don't know, like, I'm just not thinking about that.
Right.
I don't know. I think immortality is the jam. I think the problem with immortality at this point is we don't have a whole lot of Earth.
Well, that's true too.
We just don't have a whole lot of
That's a problem.
Earth. Yeah.
That's a problem, especially if, something's got to kill us.
Listen, I wake up every morning and I'm brushing my teeth and I look in the mirror and I say, Anthony Carboni, something eventually has got to kill you.
Yeah. If not, we got a space problem, we got a resources problem, we got problems multiplied by problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while I would like to prevent Alzheimer's, I would like to prevent disease, I would like to extend lifespan, I want to live forever, we got a whole host of other issues that are presented when that becomes a real possibility.
Well, if some of us can live forever, we can probably just forget about everybody else, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that'll work out well. The black market blood, only the richest will survive.
Once we can live forever, we'll just we'll build a wall.
A wall of discarded carcasses of all the blood that we've drained.
Yeah,
that'll work out well.
I feel like it'll be fine. And the people who believe in the poetry of life and the inevitability of death can go make their art.
Yeah.
You can go make your art, and if you ever need any rent money, I'm happy to give you $50 a pint for your blood.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to live forever, and I'm going to get in a spaceship eventually. But your painting is really lovely.
He's a patron of the arts and has been for thousands of years.
Different arts, different artists. Many different artists.
He churns through them pretty quick.
You could almost say he feels like they're a part of him. He really feels for them.
If you were a young person, would you be like, I want to give my blood to a very specific old person so that they could...
Yeah, I mean...
I want Ian McKellen to keep rocking.
You can give blood like what? Once a month? Once every 2 months, something? Once a month, I go to Stephen Hawking's house.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I just, hang out.
Give him a little blood.
Give him a little blood. You know what? It's like when you buy a Humble Bundle or you go to Target and it's like, would you like to give $1 to any of these 5 charities?
Yeah.
Like that's what it can be. You can go to the Bloodmobile and go to donate your blood, right? And you can be like, well, do you want all of this blood to go to people who need it because they're dying? Or like, do you want some of it to go to Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
I'm
going to be like, I have sympathy for the dying people, but Patrick Stewart has such a great voice.
Sean Connery's functionally retired, and I think that's really sad. Like, could we give a little blood to the Connery?
Yeah, pull him out of retirement.
Pull the con out.
New Bond grandpa.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Like, I think that'd be great. So, and, thinking about franchises, give a little to Connery, give a little to Harrison Ford as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's time.
It is.
It's time to take that franchise back. So I think,
if my blood can preserve various IP...
Yeah.
Which brings us back to...
The most important use for blood is to preserve copyright law. And to keep the IP of giant corporations going. And so that's why you go to give blood. You say, I want to give 9/10 of my donation to somebody who's dying and really needs it. And I'm going to give 1/10 of my donation to a beloved Hollywood celebrity. Then what happens is that Hollywood celebrity actually gives back to the Red Cross monetarily.
Right.
Keeps the blood drives going. Life. It's the circle of life.
We could actually shortcut this whole process by just putting it right in the EULA. When you click on iTunes, put a little blood, pop a little blood in this cartridge, send it off, boom. All of a sudden, the corporations have your blood.
People can't even figure out printer cartridges. They're going to figure out blood cartridges on their computers. Hey-o! God, that was a horrible joke to end this with. Would you guys participate in immortality experiments? Would you accept immortality? Would you give immortality to somebody?
I think the more pertinent question is, would you deny immortality?
Yeah.
Would you say, no, there's something about dying that's necessary to be human?
Yeah.
Would anybody do that?
Let us know. We're on Twitter. I'm at @acarboni.
And I'm at Jeff Cannata.
Check out that Patreon at patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Thanks, guys.